So I am just super happy with this knife right here. I think it's really great. We're starting a new adventure today. Hello everybody. Hope y'all are doing good out there. So the other day I posted a short in which I asked y'all's opinion on Bear & Son, and I mentioned that I'm planning on maybe trying out a few of their knives, and I'm really wanting to just see how they compare to Case. Case is my favorite. It's what I like so much. But I'm wanting to try a few Bear & Sons and see how they compare. I've had mixed experience in the back. The first one I ever got was junk. It was a lock back, and it was just put together so bad I had to send it back. It was unbelievable. The second one I got was a Bear & Son farmhand that was made for Cabela's, so it had the Cabela's name on it. That knife was put together absolutely excellent. No complaints. I traded that knife, not because I didn't like it, but because it was aluminum, and I don't carry an aluminum pocket clip knife as much. Plus there's a peanut up for trade, so that's why I traded that one. This is the third Bear & Son knife I have experience with, and this is one of them that they're making for Queen. Now, I'm pretty sure they're making them for Queen anyway, and this is a good knife. The only complaint I have about it, really, is I don't care a whole lot for the steel in this knife. I have a very hard time getting it super sharp. I can get it sharp, but I cannot hardly get it hair-popping sharp, and I haven't figured that out yet why. I've tried like 4 times. Nevertheless, it's put together really good, and it's a really pretty knife. And so I'm wanting to try another one of their knives. And this right here is the one I decided to go with. I don't have one of these particular models in my collection from any brand, just because they're so expensive, and I don't buy a knife unless I get it for the exact right price. Everybody respects a bear. It's interesting that they tape them up. Is that normal from Bear & Son? I know it's not from Case. You know, Case never tapes their boxes up. 2281R. Let's see what this says. 3.5 CLD WRBAR BX. Handle with care. Products are sharp. Limited lifetime warranty. BearandSonCutlery.com. And it has the California cancer warning. So let's break this open. I am hoping that this knife is great. And y'all know I don't mind to do little things with knives and mess around with knives, but I would really like this knife to be really nice. It's going to be interesting though, because it fills a few gaps in my collection here. So we're just going to see. And this is the first actually Bear & Son branded knife that I have gotten since that first one that was so crazy. Do you actually have to register a Bear & Son, I wonder? I know you don't on Case, but nevertheless, it looks like you may need to, so we'll see about that. Comes with this nice little pouch. This one came with this same kind of pouch also. But, let me see here. Let's get this open. What do y'all think it is? I probably it'll probably be in the thumbnail. So I don't know what I'm going to think of this. There it is. So as you can see, this is a Barlow. This is I believe it's a 3.5-inch Barlow, I think is what it said. They've got that bolster polished good. Let me go turn my light on. This might make it a little easier to see. So let's see here. Let's do our normal checks. I'll say the bolster looks great. The pin is blended in absolutely perfect. Same's true this side. Check out the back springs. Well, I'll tell you, everything is perfectly straight and clean on the back there. Also, they've got the springs cut off nice and straight. You can see this has stainless steel liners instead of brass. Hey, the blade centering looks good, don't it? What about gapping between the wood and the liners? I do not see any there. I don't see any on the top. Pins. They all feel good to the hand. I can snag them a little bit with my fingernail, but that's nothing. And that would easily polish off after a little while. Let me wipe this off again. It's a fingerprint magnet. pretty. Like I say, I don't have one of these traditional style Barlows in the collection. The only other one I have that's classified as a Barlow is this one. So let's check out the blades. Which blade should we do first? We'll do the main blade first. Oh, they got it oiled down good. Look at all that oil. Let me grab a towel. One thing I do have to figure out also is the way that Bear & Son dates their knives. I haven't figured that out yet. I was reading up about it, and they do the stars like Case does, where they remove a star. But what we got to figure out here is does it work exactly like Case in that they start with 10 and remove one for each year, or does it work some other way? Well, that blade looks good. The pictures I had seen on the internet had more like an as-ground finish, but this right here is just about a high polish. Oh, I'm happy about that. It's so much easier to maintain a high polished finish like this one here. That blade looks good. Bear & Son, USA. Now, there are a few little scratches on it right there, but I don't care about that. It's going to have more on it here shortly. And stuff like that is so easy to buff off, if you care. I use my knives. I enjoy them. I'm not about collecting them. I like to have them, but I like to have them to use them. Let's check for the blade wobble. Now, if you'll notice, we look tight on each side. Absolutely zero wobble. That's beautiful. Great snap, too. So that's good. So far, this is looking really good here. Let's pull out this little pin blade. This almost looks like a Wharncliffe here. I'm wiping the oil off of it. Here we go. So yeah, there's the little pin blade right here. See, it almost looks like a Wharncliffe. It reminds me of the blade on my little yellow peanut that I like so much. But yeah, that blade looks great. Again, completely tight. It feels great. Check the snap. Perfect. Once this is washed out and breaks in, I think it'll have excellent action on it. Yeah, that should be pretty nice. So, let me check sharpness. Now, I always expect to have to sharpen a knife when I get it. You know, that's not too bad. Let me grab my ceramic stone. I don't get upset about having to sharpen a knife or anything like that, because if I'm using my knife, I'm going to have to sharpen it anyway. That's part of knife ownership and part of the fun in it. I understand the idea that a knife ought to be sharp coming out of the factory. I agree. But I don't have a problem with sharpening it, and I usually end up doing it for myself anyway here. See if that honed it a little bit. What do y'all think about that? Yep, that got it good and sharp. That'll probably just about shave you. Okay, so I went ahead and did a few things to this knife. It didn't need a whole lot, but I wanted to share with y'all what I did do. My problem is I like to tinker with knives and I like to mess around with them. None of this stuff that I did was necessary, but I wanted to do it just to put my touch on it and to get it just like I like it. When it comes to the fit and finish, in terms of usability, it was absolutely perfect. The blade centering is spot on, as y'all can see. I didn't have to adjust that. The blades are tight, as y'all saw. Absolutely zero wiggle. Feels good in hand. Feels good to open. So, no complaints with that. Two things that I will say about the fit and finish that I did notice. One is the way that the wood transitions to the stainless steel liner. If you can see there's a little lip. That lip was a tad bit sharp. I don't want to say sharp, but you could feel it. So I took my buffer and just ran it right over that and smoothed that right out so it wouldn't be sharp anymore. The other thing I did was the corners here where this bolster meets this wood was a little jagged. And so I just ran my buffer over that bolster for a second and it blended it right in. Really nothing. Every knife I get, I end up having to do more with it than this one here. And this is just stuff because I like it to be extra smooth and shiny. When it comes to sharpening the blades, it was really neat, but I haven't had to sharpen this knife. Now, I will sharpen it eventually and put my own edge on it, but there is nothing wrong with the edge on this one right here. Both of these blades, y'all saw I just took that little ceramic rod and just ran over it, and it just did a great job. And I cut up some potatoes that my mom mashed and everything with it, and it just did a great job. So a few things I do want to mention is, what about the walk and talk? Well, the walk and talk on this is, I think, pretty great. I mean, it's not perfect. I don't expect it to be perfect. Plus, this knife should wear in and get even better. But for the current, the walk and talk on this little pin blade might be the best walk and talk that I've ever gotten on a knife. It's right up there with my case razor. If I can keep my camera from blurring out there. Just extra good snap. It's just great. And the same thing with the clip blade. It almost hurts to push it like that. It's got such a good strong spring. Here it is. And you'll have the same snap going down also. Now, I don't know if this knife would get blade wrap or not. I don't have enough experience yet. But I generally let my blades down with my hand instead of letting them slam, because I like to keep a good edge on them. But nevertheless, the walk and talk's really good. The only place where it's not 100% perfect is when you're closing the big one. It's still got plenty good enough, but it's just not quite as much snap. But it's still plenty good enough and equivalent to a case peanut or something like that. As you see, everything looks good and straight on the back springs, and I don't think I have any complaints about this knife. I really like this a whole lot. It's put together good. You can tell it's got a different focus than like a case. You know, this handle just screams, carry me and use me, instead of look at me. But it still looks nice, and it's still a super nice knife. Now, this was, I think, $42 brand new is what it was running. That right there is a good buy for this knife. If you're looking for a good knife, this is an excellent option. I plan to be doing more with this knife in these future videos and showing this knife some more, just because for the price of it, it's a great knife. Another thing I'll say is the sturdiness. This knife is really, really sturdy. It's got a lot of steel in it, and the way it's built, it's a strong, sturdy knife, which I think is what the Barlow is known for, isn't it? It's being a strong, sturdy knife. And it's a pretty heavy knife also. It's not super light. I believe, let me try to remember. I forgot what it was when I weighed it. It was, I better not say, I better put it in the description. But it was a little lighter than a case sow belly, but just a little bit lighter. And the case sow belly, I believe, is 3.6 ounces, if I remember it right. I think this was like 3.4 ounces, but if y'all are interested, check down in the description, and I'll put it down there. So yeah, let me compare this to another knife. Y'all will have to excuse the wind noise. It's a little windy out here today. But the knife that this one reminds me of more than any other. Right, look there, we got some kind of little bug. Is the Case Mini Trapper, and this is such a beautiful knife. Look at that. This is in smooth chestnut bone. Absolutely beautiful knife. But it reminds me of this one for two reasons. They're both jack knives. They're both around 3.5 inches. Those are the two main reasons. But these are very different style knives. You know, one's a Barlow, one's a Trapper. They both have half stops, but you can see here that they're roughly the same size when it comes to blade, except the Barlow's thicker all around. I'll probably be doing some more comparisons with these knives soon. Of course, the secondary blades are going to be totally different. You've got this spade blade on this Trapper right here. And on the Barlow, of course, you've got this pin blade that's almost like a small Warncliffe. So these blades are completely different from each other. But nevertheless, pretty interesting. The last thing I want to say before I end out is I really like this steel so far. It seems easy to sharpen, and it seems to hold an edge really good, so I like it so far. But yeah, for $42, if they can put them out in this quality all the time, it's worth every penny of that. And this is a knife that you'll be carrying in 60, 70 years if you don't lose it, because it's built really great. Thanks for watching, y'all. Have a good day, and leave your comments down below. Oh, and keep your knives sharp.